I'm a bad motherfucker.
Okay. Buster Blue Sun, I noticed that you said you had 3 Rumble rants that got erased when we screwed that up. But I think I saved them. So hold off. I think I've saved them. I'll get to Rumble rants, Russ.
Yeah, more than that.
More than that.
Where you got your settings right, man? Because it's like down my tonsils at this point.
But I'll read some super chats for those YouTubers who followed us over. SS, may the country that can't be named face its karma. Flick off, what do you think it says about the moral state of Israel that after the horrors of the 7th, they turned it into a snuff film to show their friends? Thank you, SS, and Flick off, and back to Russ.
Okay, so they got a little...
Buster Blue Sun, I was looking, and I think I may have only found one. I've got my money in Dr. Martin's. Oops, what happened to it? I've got my money in Dr. Martin's. They get all my money, LOL. I got that one, and I think that might be it. So, will you just email? You can email info@jimmydorecomedy.com, info@jimmydorecomedy.com, and send in whatever was lost, and I will read it. Sorry about that. All right, back to YouTube super chats. SS, they don't care about bringing us together because they know we don't have enough time to prevent what they're preparing anyway. SS. Dr. Thomas, as I said to Jimmy here in Des Moines, you all showed this Orthodox Christian right-winger a thing or two about Zionism and loving your neighbor. Dr. Thomas, and back to Russ. All right. DC, Canada's trucker movement was about workers' rights. Thank you, DC. DC, remember when Apple, Google, Amazon deplatformed Gab on app stores, web servers, and forced it to shut down? Why would alt-pay platforms be any different? Sparky, fun fact, in 1492, the Ottoman Empire sent ships to rescue Jews from the Spanish Inquisition. 2 more from Sparky. Denazify Israel and make Israel Syria again. In those Ottoman Empire days, Levant Jews got along fine with their neighbors, whether Muslim, Christian, or otherwise. Thank you, Sparky. And back to Russ. Finally, Buster Blueson's Rumble rant. The deliberate destruction of Al-Shifa Hospital shows just how depraved the Israeli military and Israel's ethno-fascist society has become. Israel has become a criminal state and an utter disgrace to humanity. We did it, Buster Blueson. We did it. We got your Rumble rant read. I feel very good about that. Back to the remaining super chats. Sparky, if you see Russell or Keaton, tell them Christ is king. Did you hear that?
You spit that at us.
F you. Thank you so much, F you. I really appreciate that. Randy, have a fiver for your lunch with Dore. Your willingness to work with people who hold different beliefs is worth rewarding. Thank you, Randy, and back to Russ.
All right, so this is the money shot of this episode of the Jimmy UV Show.
All right. Terry Barnes, consider interviewing Phil Turney on the Jimmy Dore Show. He's a survivor and living witness of the 1967 USS Liberty attack on the U.S. vessel by Israel. Terry Barnes, Sparky, Newsom Kushner, 24. Sparky, Alex, passenger planes are or were designed to be stable. Fighter jets, no. You can build an aircraft that is unstable in the right way. It is very agile. Talk about encouraging enemies. Alex, and that does it for the super chats, and I can start working on Rumble rants after this next segment. Thank you. Back to Russ. All right, everybody, I've got your Rumble rants. Hopefully I don't read them twice because I collected some from before and then there's the others, so we'll see how this goes. The real just in time, I gave to Jimmy at the office. How much of this goes to Russell and Keaton? You know, the deal Jimmy has worked out with Russ, I don't know. I don't know.
I am well compensated for my suffering. Don't you worry about that.
There you go. But thank you for your concern, the real Just in Time. Seamus Warren, one way or another, the Zionist entity is finished. A majority Arab pluralistic democracy will be a one-state solution like South Africa. Thank you, Seamus Warren. P.W. Walker. We here at the Daily Wire stand for ideological rigidity and strict obedience.
Looks
W.
that way.
Walker. Fret Pound. Ruben has a Bullwinkle voice. Seamus Warren, that Shapiro is sickening. Is Shapiro mentally ill?
You know, they're I don't know that they're mentally ill so much as they're congenitally hypocritical. I think that's their ailment.
Yeah. Buster Blue Sun, my 3 Rumble rants got deleted when you switched over to Rumble. Yes, I know, and I tried to fix it, and apparently I didn't. P.W. Walker, I'll preview Ben Shapiro's tweet for 2 April 2024. Quote, conformity is king. Thank you, P.W. Walker. Lando, why does Ben Shapiro camouflage his yarmulke into his hair? What a coward.
You're right. You're right. You're gonna let your Zionist freak flag fly. That's what I always say.
Hannah, sir, it's easy to criticize others, but it takes a lot of character to realize we do the same thing and fix it in ourselves. Yes.
Words to live by.
Buster Bluesun, thanking me for what I'd never actually provided, which was your lost Rumble rant. Blank State. Erdogan literally already stated he was planning to retire from politics at the end of his term months ago.
Oh, yeah? Interesting.
That's what Blank State says. Thank you, Blank State. Chipilo? Russell, thanks for the article. One really needs to know the history of the country. Turkey has been even more secular than USA until this guy came along. This guy.
Oh, this guy. Well, yeah. No, I used to, when I was a horse and carriage driver, there were a lot of my coworkers were Turkish. And it was very interesting. Like, they took a lot of pride in Turkey being a secular country. But they, as individuals, tended to be what we would consider very religious, you know, as within our culture. They did not, mostly, I mean, there were a couple, but mostly the Quran is the literal word of God. There's not a false word in it. They believed all that. And it was interesting that at the same time, they took a lot of pride in being from an Islamic country without Islamic rule. They were very proud of that. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. Tupilo again, by the way, this is my username. Yesim Miller here. Hello. Seamus Warren, years of Russia gating, years of Ukraine lies, years of lies, years of Israel lies, years of fill in the blank. We are saturated in soul-crushing fear and loathing. Hannah, sir, money is fake, and we are making ourselves slave our entire lives for nothing, destroying the earth and society in the process.
Yep.
It's very,
we really uplifted people with this episode. Yes. Look at where we left everybody.
Stoop sign. Is it Yoav Galant? My ass, more like Yoav Goofus. Okay.
All right.
You
should tweet that at him.
Hannah, sir, all the fear and loathing are leftover emotions from our childhood trauma. Fear and hatred of our parents for abusing us is getting projected onto all kinds of scapegoats because we're not trying it to cause. Tying it. Thank you. Sorry, Hannah, sir. We're not tying it to original cause.
That's very Freudian, man. Yes. When you have an unhealthy civilization, it produces unhealthy people. And as a result, you have unhealthy parenting. And that creates a lot of trauma and cycles of abuse. So, yeah, there's something to that.
Got some more from Hannah. Sir, people mix up cause and effect. The loneliness comes first from child neglect. Then overuse of social media comes after. It's the result, not the cause.
I don't know that that's true. You know, I mean, if you don't hand somebody a crack pipe, they don't have access to one, right? Now you could say that the ground has already been laid for that psychological vulnerability, but you can't engage in something that's not available. So if it wasn't there, you wouldn't engage with it, right? Now, what you're arguing, you know, they did that famous rat park study where they found that rats that were in a happy environment, even if you laced the water with cocaine, they weren't interested in it. But if you put rats in very cramped conditions where they were going to be stressed, they would become addicted to the cocaine water. So sure, you know, the ground is laid, but I would say that is partly an outgrowth of the conditions of civilization, where we are basically a social species meant to live in tribes of about 60, put into these very impersonal super societies, as Desmond Morris called them, and we're not well adapted to them, and that creates a lot of social alienation.
Rat study, very interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Blank state. Fuck the nanny state. Authoritarian bullshit. Be a better parent and let other parents do their own parenting. The fact that drugs, alcohol are illegal or age prohibited increases demand. FFS? I don't know what FFS. Thank you, Blank State. Luli, funniest bumper sticker I have seen.
Well. So should we legalize cigarettes for children?
Yes.
Should we legalize alcohol for children?
100%.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't think Mischa rolled like that.
No.
Wow. The more you learn about people. So the idea that there should be no laws in regards to children, as our previous poster pointed out, a lot of shitty fucking parents out there. There are a lot of parents who are not qualified to parent. So you do have to have certain baseline state standards in order to prevent child abuse. I think handing a child a smartphone is child abuse.
Yeah. Luli, funniest bumper sticker I have said Joe and his hoe gotta go. Okay. And I'm not even a huge Trump fan, didn't vote at all in 2020. Thank you, Luli. It's funny. It's funny. It's a funny bumper sticker. Thank you for sharing. Jones, so how exactly would they enforce this? Sounds like an excuse to enact and enforce KYC, know your customer, which would essentially end in anonymity. I've stopped being able to read well. For all internet users, slippery slope.
Yeah, you know, the slippery slope bullshit. So, adults can't smoke cigarettes because kids can't? Did that become a slippery slope? Now you have to be 50 to smoke a cigarette? Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on. Not a joke.
Self-becoming. Age restriction for social media sounds good, but it also means that everyone has to register with an ID to use social media, like it's the case in China.
Well, no. I mean, from what they said, there was an earlier version of that bill that required that, and that was the one DeSantis wouldn't support. And then they came up with a milder bill. Now, in terms of enforcement, yeah, I mean, there are questions around that. But that doesn't mean the core concept is not sound. You have to figure out how to balance that against those issues, which, you know, it's legitimate. I don't want to give an ID to use social media. At the same time, I don't think children should be getting brain damage to make Silicon Valley richer.
Me neither. Where was I? Blank state. Damn. Oh. I've been a DD fan for a while now, but I didn't realize how authoritarian y'all are.
Fuck it, dude. I spent like 2 hours a day shining my black jack boots. Haven't I mentioned that on the air before?
Well, I've seen you do it.
You've seen,
I mean, you were doing
she
it
helped
today.
me when I first got here. I was in a rush. She finished them off.
Hannah, sir, yes, our government cares so much about children's health, and that's why they all had to get the shot.
I mean, you know, DeSantis was never very pro-shot, so you can't really lay that on him. He was never for mandates.
$1 Million Trooper, didn't we try a coup in Turkey a few years ago despite their lack of oil and their NATO membership?
If so, I'm uninformed.
Seamus Warren, Hamas is the French resistance of our time, resisting the longest continuous occupation ever, more than 50 years, I think. Hannah, sir, they're in denial, rose-colored glasses. Empcar, here's a good leaflet we can all hand out and leave it in public spaces or in door jams from American... Oh, it just hopped. Leave it in door jams from If Americans Knew. And then you left a link. Thank you very much. Hopefully everybody was able to click that and check it out. Buster Blue Sun says, that was not my Rumble rant at all. I tried. I would say I tried. Somebody else snuck in there. They sent the email. You didn't send the email. You know.
We do our best here.
We do our best.
We do our best with what we have to work with.
Fred Fret Pound. Is Sparky the same Sparky from Lionel? At Fret Pound.
I mean, Sparky is a sport. He comes to our channel. He's very generous.
We all love Sparky. Hiamdalsgate. Herp has risen. It is it is his gourd. Okay, thank you. Buster Blue Sun again. That wasn't my Rumble rant at all. My email did not go through. It's not important anyway.
I mean, with all the rants you did about it, you could have just rewritten the ones you didn't get, right?
Well, you know what? Wednesday, I have a feeling we're not going to accidentally delete the Rumble link when we're switching over, and I think it's all gonna work out. It's gonna be better on Wednesday. Seamus Warren, the Zionist entity is finished. A two-state solution would have prolonged South African apartheid. An Arab majority, pluralistic democratic state will encompass today's Israel and Palestine.
I agree. If we don't nuke the planet first.
Hannah, sir, caring about the symbolism but not the substance, they're missing the point. Don't worry about the ritual and symbol. Just try to be like Christ. CF article. Don't be a Christian, be a Christ.
I hear he was a really good dancer. So
dancer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to be more Christ-like in that way, like tango.
I didn't know tango was a big thing back
then. Oh
yeah,
no. That's an ancient Bethlehemian dance.
I love the information I learn here.
No, yeah. After the destruction of the temple, a bunch of Jews went to Argentina.
Oh, okay. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Hannah, sir, and thank you, Russ, for that knowledge bombs. Horny unicorn.
Laying knowledge on your mind.
Yes. Horny unicorn. Jesus transmorphed and transcended on Easter Sunday. What's the problem?
No problem.
I think I see what. $1 Million Trooper, the parallel between trans people rising up post-surgery and the resurrection may have deliberate, esoteric, occult ritual significance. Joseph Campbell would have a field day with this. #TransChrist.
I have made the comparison that the idea that if a person simply declares themselves a thing, they are suddenly transformed into the thing, is very similar to the premises of communion.
Right.
Right. Once you declare your faith in it, then you are made it. Right. You become it, and that is not to be questioned by anyone. Otherwise, you're a transphobe.
I didn't know that when I was going to like Sunday school and church when I was a little kid that I was also basically
You're a trans Christian.
yeah, I'm a trans Christian.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Russ.
Yeah.
a lot today.
Every day is Treester somewhere.
Yes. Make every day Treester. Hannah, sir, Christ would be against. Wait, did I read that one? Yes. Okay. Christ would be against the American Egg Board. He wouldn't approve of caging God's creatures in tiny cages, making them live live in filth, developing stress disorders, and exploiting them their entire lives.
Amen.
Thank you, Hannah, sir.
Amen. You're right.
Stoop sign, Easter always has been incredibly trans. Easter's about a bunny that lays eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. Which most trans people do. It's one of the attractions.
Right. Seamus Warren, Easter celebrates Christ hatching from a chocolate egg.
I mean, that's how you sell a holiday. What can you not sell with chocolate?
Yeah.
See, that Scientology Center would not have closed on Hollywood Boulevard if they had been giving out more chocolate. They should have been giving out chocolate L. Ron Hubbards.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they need more chocolate.
They need more chocolate. That's my advice.
Jimmy
do
Dore.
we have a contact for Tom Cruise? I want to
we'll
slip that in his ear.
look into it. Jimmy Dore fans fomenting community. Do you think Israel is a terrorist state? Boeing is part of the depopulation agenda. Shapiro showed his true colors and are 18 to 25. Oh, I get it. I didn't read this correctly. I will try it again. I will try this advertisement again.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Israel is a terrorist state? Boeing is part of the depopulation agenda. Shapiro showed his true colors. And are you 18 to 25? Check out Jimmy Dore fans fomenting community. Link on X and Insta. I stumbled through that, but I did try. John Henry Bonzo, your comments are evidence of the level. Hold on. Okay. Your comments are evidence of the level of ignorance about the resurrection and the biblical Messiah. Grace and mercy endures forever. Hallelujah.
Tango on, my friend.
John Henry, thank you for your Rumble rant. $1 Million Trooper, would you go to an Easter egg hunt on Diddy's yacht?
I mean, I wouldn't bring my kids, that's for sure.
But you would go, because who wouldn't?
I mean, freaking steal some jewelry or something.
Billdozer, y'all Catholic Christian here. The eggs are a tiny portion of Easter for us. Mass is huge. We literally had the story of Jesus' death and resurrection on while we were eating. Then we go fishing.
Sounds nice.
Hannah, sir, these people are very arrogant and self-centered.
Which ones?
You have no idea. They should put little.
I mean, that could cover
rants.
like 80% of the segments we did today.
Jimmy Dore fans fomenting community, you might want to look into Shadow Dragon, the American Community Survey, and the Corporate Transparency Act. It seems to be a patriot act for businesses. Community. Seamus Warren, October 7th was a prison break.
Yep. Read.
Jimmy Dore fomenting community again. I don't think kids should be using social media, but that law requires everyone using social media to submit IDs, so it seems like this law furthers the surveillance state.
As I said, from my reading, DeSantis actually declined a version that required that. So I don't think that's true. I would agree that's a problem if it were.
Sparky63, is this a different Sparky? Dresden was the founder of Protestant Christianity, Martin Luther's stomping grounds. The Dresden bombing destroyed Protestant statues, artifacts, artwork, and records. Did Catholics order the bombing? Anatoliy, encouraging forgiveness is often a way to obstruct justice and protect guilty parties. I'm scrolling down. I'm trying to catch everybody. Sparky63, inspired from attending an early 1930s Protestant convention in Dresden, MLK Sr. legally changed his name and his young son's name to Martin Luther King. I think they were born Michael.
Oh, you know what? I never knew that. That's interesting.
It's interesting. Thank you for all the interesting information, everybody. Seaweed must be a shitlib who heard the minister urge mass murder of 2 countries. Yet only one clip. Gotta project racism. Plus, they probably agree with him about genociding Russians.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seaweed.
Yep.
Insight of the ages. Who should be more offended by National Chop Off Your Parts Day? Christians celebrating resurrection or pagans celebrating fertility?
That is a good insight.
Yes. Hannah, sir, I think bringing a child into this toxic, collapsing cancer of a society is child abuse. Thanks, Hannah, sir.
I could see that.
Blank state. The state abuses children literally all the time. HHS, CPS, CBP, ICE are all complicit in child trafficking.
You know, you got to go easy on us old uns with all those acronyms.
That's a lot of acronyms.
I don't think we got all of those, but we got your point. You know, I've been doing a series on incarceration in Louisiana, and I shot some activists, and some of them were talking about the ICE facilities in Louisiana, which we don't think of Louisiana, we think of Texas, but apparently they have a lot of them there. And yeah, they were talking about some horrific things with children in those facilities, which we you know, we've heard about that already with some of the other facilities. But yes, absolutely, there's a lot of abuse of children by the state. Agreed.
Seamus Warren, thank God for audiobooks. I'm about 50 hours into Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire.
Impressive.
Stark parallels reverberating all the way to our present geopolitical landscape.
Yeah, you know, I got a press pass to the dissident dialogues that the trigonometry guys are putting together in New York in May. And I committed myself to taking in the books that have been written by all of the people who are going to be there. Richard Dawkins is going to be there. John McWhorter, Brianna Joy Gray is going to be there. Nathan Robinson. And the only way I could do it is with audiobooks. I prefer not to use audiobooks, but in this line of work, you kind of have to, man. You have to have a way to be able to take in a book while you're cooking, while you're eating. So it's the only way I'm taking in all those books by May. So it's, yeah, I mean, it's a good resource, especially if you have limited time.
Anna, sir, civilians always collapse because they're inherently unstable and unsustainable. They are the societal version of cancer. Healthy is stable, sustainable, egalitarian, hunter-gatherism. Answer Sparky63. Yes, I watched Lionel Nation too. Sparky. Let's see. Did I get? Nope. Got a couple more. Jones. DeSantis is a world economic stooge. A top agenda item is taking away anonymity from internet users via KYC. What is KYC again? Shielding ID is essential for us fighting underdogs. There must be another way to help kids. Well, I feel like Russ already talked about the ID a couple times now. My real name, my real name, thank you. Here's your Rumble rant now. Whoa, the Celebrity Center closed. There is hope for LA. Love seeing you on this site, Russell.
Oh, no, you didn't know that. I dropped a video of it because I went there and filmed the protests outside the Celebrity Center when I was here in January, and they closed like a few days after that. That was it. No, yeah, I got footage of the protesters out there talking about how they go there every day protesting. and they make it impossible for them to recruit.
Wow.
That if they go try to recruit on the boulevard like they used to, they follow them, they protest. So yeah, after a while, they just gave up.
And they didn't have the chocolate.
They didn't have the chocolate, man. If they had given those protesters some chocolate, I bet they would have went away.
CR Harm. This is for the Mischa Russ comment read segment to happen again and again. Well, thank you, CR Harm, for that. And they will happen again and again and again until Jimmy and Steph are back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
In less than 2 weeks. I don't know. Something like that.
They're back, like the 10th?
The 10th,
The
yes.
10th, I guess.
But I think, they're probably flying in that day and going to be very, very tired.
I mean, I'll either be doing the show or sitting in on the 12th, I'm assuming.
Yes. Or both. Or like a halfsy.
Maybe.
Who knows? Fret Pound, Desmond Morris, Russell Tusser are a well-read motherfucker. Thank you.
Desmond Morris. I'm a high school dropout, and I dropped out of high school because I hated it. But my mother cried when I dropped out, and I told her, no, don't worry, I'm going to educate myself. And I did. I went to the library every day. I felt like I'll learn more that way than sitting in this bullshit. And so I started with the history of the world, and then I branched out into anthropology and psychology. And I would just, look at the synopsis of the books and decide what I wanted to read. And The Human Zoo and the Naked Ape by Desmond Morris seemed really interesting to me. And I was very young. I was like 16. And I'd never really been exposed to ideas like that before. And it changed the entire way I look at the world. And I've never stopped looking at things in terms of evolutionary psychology. Desmond Morris, who was really the grandfather of evolutionary psychology, was a zoologist who now it seems kind of obvious, but this was like a revolutionary idea. He wrote a book describing and explaining human behavior as a zoologist. At 16, reading that, like, oh, we have all of this physiognomy because we walk upright, and it changed the sexual signals that your pupils dilate, and that sends out subconscious signals that as primates we use makeup because it simulates the sexual flush. Like, I was 16, like I hadn't been exposed to things that deep on an anthropological and biological level. Completely blew my mind. I never saw things the same way again. Like, that book definitely is one of like 3 books that had the greatest impact on my thinking over the course of my life. Yeah. I mean, the field has developed beyond that. And there are certain things in that book that are dated now. But I was exposed to it at a very early age where you're very impressionable. It really changed the way I think.
Brett Pound says, Desmond Morris's studies on why people are attracted to specific things is amazing.
Yes,
kind of ruined sex for me, though.
Interesting. Man, I went through that too. And I was very conflicted because, you're a teenager, you're really fucking horny. But then after I read that, I could not help but look at that as a primate behavior that I had no control over. So I felt really bad about it. So I totally know what you're saying. No, one of the things he does I think that's the Human Zoo. The Naked Ape was the first one. He shows 2 pictures of a woman that look identical. And he says, choose which one you like better. So you choose it, and you go to the next page. It says, 80% of people will pick the one on the right because their pupils are dilated.
Oh, wow.
But you wouldn't notice it. It's just hitting you subconsciously.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting stuff today here at the Jimmy Dore Show, post-show read, Rumble Rant read. Louise, quote, wow, that guy's eyebrows are awesome, says my 18-year-old son while cutting his hair and watching Due Dissidents the other night. Love you guys. Thank you, Louise. Okay, so that is it for these ones right here. Oh, Colgate, Jack Nicholson now or 1974? Question mark.
Now? Nicholson?
Now?
I mean, he's got Alzheimer's, man.
CR Harm, you two should keep it up even after Jimmy comes back. We all normally tune off. We have all stayed and enjoyed this. Well, thank you
I'm
again,
glad.
CR Harm. We'll just well, Jimmy and Steph will come back. They'll do their regular thing, and then I can just at the very end of the show, we'll just take whatever keeps popping up.
Sure.
So okay, some more may pop up from here, but I have to go over to see what I did save from the first section. I hope I don't reread things. I did save some, so okay. Money is Fake. That one we read, that very depressing one. Fear and Loathing, read it. Thank you, Hanister. Read this. Oh, yep. This is sorry. I apologize. I'm just wanting to make sure I got everybody's. I read from Ruben Has a Bullwinkle Voice. Read that. Okay. I think that. Oh, read that. Maybe I got all these. Most part, aside from Buster Bluesons, which I know I didn't. Jameis Warren said Never Again. I don't think I read that one before. And I'm not sure what that was in regard to. We read that. Okay. Didn't read this one. Cornpop. Oh my effing God. Give, share, pray. This proves exactly that the right is exactly, disgustingly, the same as the left. Hypocrisy and dumbassery, number 1 and 2 U.S. exports.
Oh, yeah, man. No, that's why we're post-duopoly. We're done with both.
I think this might be the last one. I think. Seamus Warren, why in the comments include links to meaningful works by your favorite authors? They could even be monetized links. Oh, that's a suggestion.
No, you know what I thought about doing? Because actually, those of you who watch Due Dissidents, you know Tusker over there. She showed me that PewDiePie, I guess he retired. I guess he doesn't do stuff anymore. But she showed me he used to do book readings and like book club. That seems like a great idea for these types of channels because we do talk and reference books quite a lot. That seems like a really good way to use this platform. And she was showing it to me because it was really popular.
He's reading the book?
I guess so.
Okay.
And having like a discussion about I mean, he must have been discussing it. I don't think he was just doing Andy Kaufman.
because if I can do that and have a successful channel, I'll just start reading soon. Yeah. I'm just going to start reading books.
Well, you know, Andy Kaufman had a bit where he used to go on stage and just start reading The Great Gatsby until the audience went crazy. And every time they would start to get mad, he would just hold up his finger. And they would continue. And so Gatsby.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, if peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Thank you, Colgate. I think we're ending on that one.
All right.
I think that's it.
Appropriate.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. We're going to be back on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Same, probably bad news, and maybe hopefully
we'll try to find something funny,
things.
But we're doing the poop plane on Due Dissidents tomorrow.
Poop plane on Due Dissidents tomorrow. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. That's the highlight.
And Jimmy and Steph were in Stockholm. Was it yesterday? It's today. It's today's the first now for us, but I think that show happened yesterday for them. Right?
As soon as you get to Stockholm, they start abusing you, but you kind of start to like the people who do it. Yeah.
Europe is sold out, everybody, unless you want to get tickets to Oslo, and then otherwise get tickets to these other shows here. And we'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Isn't it swell? The memes make themselves. They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The cynical grace, soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
So, you know what my theory is that there's a huge crash coming. It's coming, and so I'm putting my money into precious metals, mostly gold. And so I have a substantial percentage of my retirement in gold, and my financial future is secure with gold and silver. That's why I decided to sponsor, and I partnered with Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secure self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market, or for that matter, whatever the government's doing. I have access to it, and plus I got it in gold coins. Okay, so let the team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We put together a special offer. Listen to this offer. You click on the link in the description of this video or call the special 800 number, and you're going to receive a safe and up to $10,000 in free silver. I don't know how they could do that, but go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-Show. colonialmetals.com/Jimmy-Dore-Show. Or you can call 888-910-1419. That's 888-910-1419. And a nice person like our friend Paul from Colonial, he'll tell you all about it. I had lunch with Paul. When he explained all this to me, I was like, hey, I'd like to work with you guys. And I'd like to put my retirement money in an IRA account with you guys with the precious metals. So go to 888-910-1419. That's Colonial Metals. Or you can go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-Show. Or click the link in the description. Over to Steph.
Okay, great. Thank you. YHWY/Christ ordered his people to commit the utter annihilation of all the breaths on many people, of all that breathes on many peoples in the Bible, /Tanaka, parentheses, Joshua 10:40. Hempcar. Jimmy, we're grateful for your integrity and sacred honor. Be well and press on. God bless you and your loved ones. Okay. John Henry. Back to Jimmy.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate shitty coffee? I, for one, really hate shitty coffee, which is why I'm excited to introduce to you a company that's revolting against shitty coffee, and it's called the 1775 Coffee Company. Now, I haven't had it yet because I only drink decaf. Steph has had it. Steph, how do you like it?
I really like it. You know what? I have a French press, and so I've been using my French press and totally enjoying it. It's delicious. It's smooth. So
1775, the world awakened to a new era. And now it's 1775 Coffee Company is bringing you a coffee that embodies that revolutionary spirit. Crafted with passion and precision, our beans are ethically and exclusively sourced from the finest coffee beans farms of Bolivia. Didn't know that. 1775 Coffee Company's farm-to-cup journey ensures the highest quality of authenticity and sustainability from start to finish. With each sip, your palate will recognize and appreciate the dedication and passion that goes into crafting this single-sourced brew. 1775 Coffee Company takes pride in offering customers a truly exceptional coffee experience with their premium coffee collection. But their dedication to this revolution extends beyond the realm of taste. Safeguarding freedom of speech is critical right now, which is why 1775 Coffee Company has joined forces with Rumble in defense of one of our most fundamental rights, freedom of speech. Coffee that's sure to awaken all your senses, including the sense of freedom. So choose 1775 Coffee by going to 1775coffee.com /litter. That's LITTER. And use the code LITTER for 10% off the checkout on your first order. 1775 coffee, brewed to perfection, crafted with revolution. Okay, over to Steph.
All right.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit